Hello and welcome to Exploring the Sacred Crystalline Archetypes, Exploring Your Soul's Purpose Masterclass. Let's get started. I am Anya Lightheart. I am a way shower for those who live in or desire to live in higher levels of consciousness. I am also the founder of Sacred Crystalline Archetypes, where I show you how to discover, activate, and embody your soul's purpose. Let me start by saying that I'm so happy you're here, truly, because you showing up today is telling source energy that you're ready to experience more joy in your life, that you're ready to experience more um, excitement and freedom and flow and grace. And that's a beautiful thing. It shows me that you are choosing to let your soul lead you because it is your soul that got you to this moment. And for that, it makes me so happy and so grateful because that's how we raise the consciousness of the planet. With people like you, heart centered people who desire to use their gifts, their abilities, their heart to assist others in this process of ascension. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. All right. So I want to talk to you about the sacred design archetypes and how all of this got started because it's such a cool story and journey. When I was a little girl, I always wonder what is my purpose? And I started channeling when I was maybe 12 or 13 or even younger, but it was for me it was just playing. It was just a way of living and existing until one day I realized that people cannot see auras, that people cannot see spirits or angels or cosmic beings. It was my normal, right? And so I always had this sense of purpose. I always had this sense of I am here to contribute in some way that is greater than my human experience, is greater than myself. And I just didn't know what it was. So for so long, I always was in the chase of, okay, I started learning about that channeling was a thing or mediumship was a thing. So I wanted to learn how to do mediumship. And every time I would take the class, I will do this or do that, I will realize that that's something that I've been doing for so long already. And then the same thing happened with, I remember this time um somebody was teaching about the Akashic Records and I'm like, I'm gonna drive to Chicago and I'm gonna take her class and I'm gonna be doing this and I'm gonna open the records. I was determined. But in the back of my mind and through my intuition and channeling abilities, I could hear my guys just laughing hysterically. They're like, just wait. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. And soon enough, I realized that the same processes that I was using for myself and my clients at the time, it was it was the Akashic Records. It was already happening. And the same thing happened with um I went through all the certifications of Reiki, becoming a teacher, a master, all the levels. And then when I started practicing, I realized that I was already experiencing and doing it my way, connecting with my own team and doing the healing work naturally. So it was this always like a constant chase. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? And in my mind, it was okay, when I'm doing this, when I'm practicing this, and it was almost from the place of I have to fulfill. And it was that having to because my heart was calling to something greater. And it wasn't until I realized that all of this other ways of living, doing opening the Akashic records, creating new belief system, neural pathways in our brain to think differently, um, doing energy work, channeling angels, channeling archangels, channeling or doing mediumship for loved ones. I've gone through all of that. Even connecting with my cosmic family area, it wasn't until I experienced all of that that I started to recognize that these are just tools. These are tools that we've been cultivating for eons, meaning we've been cultivating this from many timelines, many lives, and that are in our field. that we can just pull through, but it's not the destination. This is not your purpose. Your purpose is to experience joy, to experience that fulfillment within you. You're not here to fulfill your purpose, but rather feel a sense of fulfillment. And let's explore that a little bit because this may be new concepts for you. Or maybe not. Who knows? Let me know in the comments. But I feel that maybe even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, in the past, when we think of fulfilling our soul purpose, it was as if we had to check a box. We had to put ourselves in a box, and this is what it looks like. And now, for New Earth and moving into these greater levels of consciousness due to all the recent events that we've been going through on the planet, this has opened up. It has expanded us to it has expanded us to realize that it's not about checking a box or putting yourself in a box about, oh, this is what I'm doing. Like, no, it's about who you are being. Just feel into that. Let's take a deep breath. Come into our hearts. Ground a little bit. I am sharing a lot of energy that is unspoken. So if you start feeling tingles or you start feeling anything else, changes in temperature in the room, just know that you're receiving vibrational information as we connect. All right. So that being said, if embodying our purpose is about fulfilling how we feel and not a box. It's not putting yourself in a box. What are the sacred crystalline archetypes doing even? Like what are they here? Well, the SCAs are here to glue the ideas and visions and dreams that you have for yourself, for your family, for your community, for the world into this perspective, into this reality, into the materialized reality. They're here to guide you, to help you get clear, to help you keep on that path of greatest joy constantly, all of the time, one moment at a time, one segment to segment, because that's what you deserve. When we come to Earth, we're not here as kindergartens. The guides don't see us as, oh, these little things, kindergartens. No, they see us as master creators. And it's only that little thing at the beginning of our existence when we are born that most people go through where they cannot remember how great they are, how powerful they are, that they are indeed creators self creating their own reality. And that's why in the past we gotten in situations, at least I was, always trying to figure out what is my purpose? What is my purpose? When I was an engineer, I was always in the back of my mind, I felt like I had to be doing something else. That building cars wasn't as important as what I'm doing right now. And looking back, I can realize that it was because of who I was being in all those long meetings with lots of guys. It was mainly guys. Sometimes it was 10, 15 in myself. Or those long corporate interviews and other situations that because of who I was being, because of my connection to higher self and my perspectives, that I was able to switch the vibration. And I may not seen at the time the impact that it had within them or the people around me, but I know looking back that it was powerful. So this gets me to the point that you don't have to be doing anything, and let alone anything spiritual or in the category as something spiritual or energy work, for you to already be fulfilling your purpose. Let's get that clear. That's an old story. That's an old belief. That's that's an old vibration. You can be doing anything. You can be a gardener, you can be a therapist, you can be a doctor, you can be a teacher of any kind, you can be an engineer or work in corporate America or in any other corporation and still fulfill your purpose. Your purpose in life. is to be the most expansive version of yourself, that version that is your higher self in your body, an embodiment that is source embodied, that looks like joy, that looks like freedom, that feels that like deep sense of connection with all of your surroundings, with the people around you, with your experiences. Because now, from that space of embodying your purpose, you're taking an active role in the creation of your reality. You're no longer waiting for things to just happen, to continue going on the same patterns, the same things every single day, you know. And it's almost as if one day you wake up and you look back at life and you said, what did I do with my life? It's not about that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's not about that either. Because, well, let's just say it. Time is an illusion, right? So it's not about that, but it is about who you're choosing to be and become from this moment on. So, with that being said, let's close our eyes and then just set an intention. Dear source energy, higher self. If you want to use the word God, go ahead. You, angels, universe, you choose. Goddess, grace. Thank you for leading me to this moment where I get to choose from my heart what kind of experiences I desire to create. I get to choose that I am embodying my purpose by being myself, by recognizing source energy within me, by recognizing that I already have everything within me to not just fulfill my soul's purpose, but to embody it. And so it is. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. And what am I even doing this? Why am I setting an intention? Why are you setting an intention? Because this is how you take an active role in your creation. This is how you are becoming a deliberate conscious creator, meaning you are aware of your desires. You're clear of who you are and who you want to become, who you want to embody. How do you want to show up for yourself and for others? This is why we set up intentions, because then where your focus goes, where your intentions goes, the energy source universe supports it. It's a law. It's a universal law. Where you put your attention, that's where energy flows. Okay? Okay, awesome. So that was my experience with the sacred crystalline archetypes. Like I said, I felt like I was always chasing, and then I realized like no, the archetypes, are tools. They are vehicles that are guiding us through this journey of life to experience more of source, to experience more of the divine, to experience more joy and freedom. And when I started looking at that way, I'm like, whoa, hello, then it means that I can stay in a state of joy, in a state of gratitude and appreciation and flow, because I always have everything what I need. And when I don't know, when I don't have the ability to see beyond what is in front of me, I pull the channeler archetype and start channeling my guides. I pull the from the Akashic Records, I open it up as a historian and start looking into the patterns and possibilities and potentials in the field. When I feel that I uncover a belief that has been limiting, or I start feeling in my body the energy blocks that we sometimes experience, that then sometimes is even translated into disease, right? Before we get to that point, I can understand, ooh, there's some energy here. What is going on? Where did I pick this from? Why is it here? And I can use my healer archetype, the tool, to transmute it and to change it and to integrate it into love. So this is why I'm so excited, because you are all the 12 sacred Christian archetypes, meaning you have all the 12 tools and then all the combinations within you. We're just here to activate them. And you may think, well, hello, Anya, you've been doing this for over 15 years. And yes, I have been doing this for a long time, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. I promise you, the energy on the planet has never been like this, meaning we've never had this access before. And you're going to start seeing channeling becoming our normal way of communicating with others. Channeling our higher self, that's we're just gonna normalize it. Using your intuition, we're here to normalize using your intuition to assist you in your life. You no longer have to struggle for words. You no longer have to struggle for clarity and guidance and assistance. You've never had to. We just didn't know that was an option because we were raised that way, because we had those belief systems stopping us. And we were never taught that this too is part of existing on earth. You, as a soul level, didn't choose to come to Earth to struggle. You chose to come here to have a great experience, and now is your time. And you are the way shower, meaning you're here to open the path for others to experience great joy as well. And it starts with you. So, um, as I continue to look back and look at all the patterns when I was in engineering, when we sold everything from our house, our belongings, in Metro Detroit, when we left engineering, my husband and I, and our two dogs, we sold everything and moved to Northern Michigan. We bought our dream house, the whole process, and m- many other experiences. I kept noticing the same pattern. It was always the same pattern. I would have a desire. I would see it. I would think like, oh my gosh, that would be so joyful. That would be so expansive. That could really um, allow us to experience even great joy. As you can tell, joy and freedom are my top values in life. So everything that I do is based on that. So then I will start using channeling because I love channeling. Trance channeling is one of my favorite things to do, and even just consciously channeling. That's one of my favorite archetypes. So then I will start using that to connect to higher self and connect with my cosmic family to understand, okay, what are the next things I could do? What is the action that I could take that is going to help us get to this, um, to feel more freedom and to feel more joy, and to also, um, in this instance, buy our dream home, buy out this dream piece of land. And I would just keep noticing the same patterns, the same steps, always over and over again. Even at times, oh my gosh, when we bought this home, it was the craziest thing. It just, the way it happened, it was a miracle. But it was because I was able to use my sacred Crystalline archetype, the channeler, to keep receiving those ideas and assurance, and that certainty was built within me to know that even though the reality looked like it was not going to happen, and even though other people offers were taking, and even though there's like multiple roadblocks, it was because I was able to use my channeler ability, my tools, that gave me the certainty to know that we were gonna make it, that we were gonna be here, and that we were gonna thrive in this area. And so the same thing happened when I was in engineering. I was really getting fed up with it, to be honest. I could just not, my, at the time, a level of consciousness was still within the idea that I needed to be doing something with energy work in order to contribute to Earth. That's where it was. Totally fine. Love my old self. And it wasn't until I started to going through the same process. What is it that I really want? I wanted more freedom, meaning I wanted to work from home, which that wasn't a thing back then. I mean, I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago, in a very strict, very old school type of environment where working from home was not a thing. Absolutely not. And I had other things in mind that to me that would have been amazing, right? And little by little, I just started pulling from from the field of potentials. We'll talk about the field of potentials in a little bit. But I started pulling from the field of potentials a little ideas here and there. Okay, I want to experience this. I want to experience like a think about the field of potentials as this menu where you what do you want to get what do you want to experience, and then you pull it from this cloud that is around you, that is all the experiences that you can ever have, all the possibilities. So I just started pulling, like taking my menu, taking my note, what do I want to have today. And long story short, the company ended up creating a position specifically designed for myself. I kid you not. Like this position did not exist in the company. They went through the whole process with HR and everything. I only went to the office once or twice during the week. I worked from home. I had my own hours. It was amazing. Oh, and I still was getting paid. I got a raise even. Like it was epic. And again, I use the same method over and over and over again to create all these different experiences in my life. And like I told you, looking back, I knew that too was part of my purpose. So, what I'm trying to say is that your purpose is not what you're doing, but rather who you are being. If you are feeling your best, if you are feeling that you're connected, that you're certain, that you're clear, that you have guidance, and you just know where you're going. You don't need to know how. That's irrelevant. We don't need to know the how, but you have clarity on who are you becoming, where are you going, and how you're contributing. The how everything comes together doesn't matter, but who you're being is the most important thing you can do for yourself right now. Getting clear on that, and getting clear on what is the destination. What is the destination? So let's talk about the method, and I'm just calling it the Lightheart Method for fun. So let's get started and talk about that. Please make sure to download your PDF if you haven't already. And because I was an engineer and I like thinking about reverse engineering things, we're gonna get into understanding what is your destination. What does it look like for you to embody your purpose? Have you ever thought about that? If not, no worries. So good. That's why you're here. So we're gonna go through a powerful meditation, and I'm gonna guide you in connecting with your future self to then discover where is the destination. So from that space, we're gonna work things out. All right. So let's talk about this Lightheart Method. What is it? The way I think about it is that our soul has given us a path. Um, that because we sometimes feel that when we get to earth and then we're just blinded, and it sometimes feels that way, but it doesn't have to be that way. So the path allows you to put in human terms what your soul has for you. We now understand that higher self, that your soul is energy, but then we can also translate it into a path that makes sense for our human brains to follow, and to gain that confidence and to gain that joy within those, cultivate more of that within those, so that when we can start so that then we can start magnetizing that kind of reality and experience more of that, and then we manifest more. Anyway, it's a never ending experience of a snowball effect. That's what it is, of joy and purpose and gratitude and fulfillment. So let's think about the method as if, imagine you're going into a journey. This is the best journey of your life. You know where you're heading, you know the destination. You also have a GPS with you or a map. That's important. And then to guide you through this journey to your destination. And then you have a chosen way of transportation. It can be a car, it can be a bus, it can be a train, it can be an airplane or a boat. It really doesn't matter. But you know, all of those transportation methods are available to you. You know, you can just choose and change as you desire. Um, all right. So now that we have a destination, you have a map, you have a vehicle, this is the method. As simple as it is. The destination is your future self. It's the part of you, the aspect of you that is already experiencing a deep sense of purpose in life. is already feeling that that sense of joy and connection and compassion and wholeness within them. And again, I'm not saying this that it feels like you're putting you on a pedestal and it's very hard to reach and it's like this sense of enlightenment that you need to be an ascended master on earth. It's not about that. It's just an idea that you can choose over and over and as much as you want throughout your day and every week and every month and every year. As much as you want. And even when you're not feeling that way, it's a way for you to like, oh, I'm not feeling that way. This doesn't feel so good. I can choose to feel this way. It's just a model for you to see this is available to me. That is your future self embodying your higher self. It's reachable, it's an opportunity, it's a way of being. And the thing is that you don't have to do anything, you don't have to have anything for you to already experience that. I'm just giving you tools that are going to help you throughout your day and throughout your life to experience more and get more aligned, get clear with it, but there's nothing stopping you in this moment as you and I are connecting to already to choose that you are that higher self embodied, that you are that future self now. Okay? I don't want you to think that you must do it this way in order to. Mm-mm. You already have everything you need. I'm just here to show you and reflect to you that it is possible and that you're ready. That's it. Okay, now that's the destination. Your GPS or your map are your values and emotions. What is the most important thing for you in life? Is it love? Is it joy? Is it freedom? And you will know throughout this masterclass that for me is joy and freedom. I live for those emotions. I when I feel joyful when I feel free, I am my best. I can show up as the best version of myself. And in that moment, I know that I'm truly embodying my purpose and I'm truly being the best version of myself. So you see how I'm talking about something that is invisible and not tangible as the root, the basis of it all. It's not about me saying, yeah, because I'm a mentor and I'm a teacher and I'm creating this program and I'm going to go to my garden and plant garlic later, that I'm embodying my purpose. It's not about that. It's about who I am being in every moment while doing those things, while putting gas on my tank, the car, while going shopping, whatever it may be, while talking to my neighbor. Doesn't matter what you're doing, it's how you are feeling while doing, while creating your life. That's the purpose in life. Again, we're so conditioned to think that our purpose is to fill in a box and to check a box. Like, yep, I done that. I have this certification. I done this. I do that. Blah 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 blah. And even though that's important, it's not the end. It's who you are being while doing those things that matters. Okay, this is so good. Now we have the destination, we have the GPS, and now the vehicle, the ways of transportation to get to that destination, to experience more of that future self that is experiencing the purpose embodied, is the sacred crystalline archetypes. The sacred crystalline archetypes are here to guide you, to help you get clearer into the path. Imagine you're traveling and sometimes you are going from one state to the other. So you decide to drive. And so you use the channeling to get clear on what path are you taking? Does that feel good? And um, think about it that way. Or maybe you're choosing to experience, to clear some energy. So you choose an airplane instead because you want to fly. That's the archetypes. All of these ways of transportation are always available to you, and it's up to you to choose how you want to get there. Same with the archetypes, and all of the archetypes are part of you. You have been cultivating these tools for so many lifetimes. And it's because of recent events on planet Earth that has allowed us to really experience intuition in different forms. And the more you start activating them and playing with them, the more you're gonna get clear on what is even your destination looking like. Because maybe right now you just have a certain level of consciousness that allows you to see putting the perspective based on the beliefs that you've been experiencing throughout your life. But once you start clearing and you start moving the energy through your body, and you start getting guidance, you start getting ideas through all your archetypes. You're like, oh, what about this? And what about this possibility? And what about these other things? So your destination starts to shift as you start to shift. So because I was an engineer, let's reverse engineer the process. I love thinking about it that way. I know where I'm heading. I know I can connect with my future self every day and give me the answers I'm seeking, the guidance I'm seeking. All right, let's connect with your future self and see what embodying your higher self and embodying your purpose feels and looks like. And yeah, just follow through. You're in a safe space. Just close your eyes, get comfortable, and let's go. Take a deep breath and exhale. Place your attention on your heart. You can even place your hand on your heart if you feel guided to. Continue to breathe in and breathe out and find your rhythm. We set the intention to connect specifically with your higher self, with the aspect of you that is already experiencing what it's like to embody your soul's purpose. The aspect of yourself who knows and feels completely connected to the all that is. Source energy flows through you with every breath in and every breath out. You continue to find your rhythm. You continue to expand your energy field as you elevate your vibration. Now imagine your surroundings are white. Everything is white. It's the more radiant white room you've ever been into. You feel a sense of peace, calm, and excited because you know you're ready for this, because you know you're ready to connect with your higher self. You're walking through this white room, and all you can feel is this warm sensation in your heart. This sense of I've arrived. I know where I'm going. A sense of knowing who you are. Pay attention to any other feelings coming up. And if they don't feel in alignment with the vibration of love, imagine them floating away. Any other thoughts about things you've done today, things you have to do later, let them fly away, knowing that everything is taken care of, knowing that you're safe. You'll continue to walk, and at the end of the room, you can see an elevator. You decide to walk towards it. As you get close to it, this sense of joy, you cannot wait to see what's on the other side. You get in the elevator and start to go up, and you keep going up and up and up. Even though you don't know where you're heading, where you're going, you know it's safe. All of a sudden, the doors of the elevator open up, and you can help to feel immense gratitude because you're in your favorite space. You're so relaxed. You're home. You can feel the love that has been waiting for you. You can feel a sense of purpose in how you've been guided, and you feel relieved because you made it. You're exploring this sacred space, this known favorite space as if it was the first time, with a sense of curiosity and joy. You see two chairs and decide to sit down and just take it all in, taking a deep breath in. You can just perceive what an amazing and sacred this space is. And it's yours and you're part of it. You created it. You designed it for yourself to experience this kind of feeling. Up in the distance, you see this person. It looks a little bit familiar, but you're not quite sure who they are. But as they get closer, you start to recognize yourself in this person. It's almost as if you're looking at a mirror, but the only difference is that they seem happier. They seem like they've gotten the secret of life. And you can almost perceive that they're not alone. There's a community behind this person. Some of them are in physical form and some of them are not. You have no idea how you can see them, but you can. They carry this confidence and a sense of knowingness that is so inspiring and remarkable, like anything you've seen before. This is your future self. They're sitting next to you. You're extending your hand, touch theirs, in a connection within your heart and their heart. is created. You start to send love from your heart to theirs until it makes click. It's a sensation of deep connection. The more energy, the more love you send to your future self, the more you receive back. You can feel it in your physical body. It's a beautiful exchange. And you ask them, what kind of life are you experiencing? What is your job? What is your work? And with details, they start to share with you. And as you listen with intention, you can help but feel a deep sense of connection with everything around you. You can help but feel so loved, so supported, and the possibilities start to open up for you. Keep listening. There's so much to share. This is your future self embodying their higher self, your higher self. Get all the details. Keep asking. I'll take care of the time for you. With all this new information, new perspectives, and new sense of purpose, a renewed sense of purpose, and joy and gratitude for life, you start to see your loved ones, your family, your partner coming towards you. If you notice that you have a box on your hands, it is a gift that you created for your loved ones. It contains your three main values in life. What do you strive for, and what do you want to give them? Open up the first one. Is it joy? What is the first thing that comes to mind? Give it to them. Let's open up the next one. Give it to them. And your third value in life, what is it? Give them to them. Now, with a sense of completion for this journey that it has just started, but this connection that you created with your future self, you start to walk towards the elevator, feeling ready, capable, and above all, grateful and appreciative to make the connection. You know it's real and it is your time. You start to go down and down, taking a deep breath in, bringing your attention back into your heart. You're gonna get out of the elevator, walk into the white room, taking a deep breath in, knowing that you'll remember the entire experience. Start to wiggle your toes. A deep breath in, and you can open your eyes. And just take a moment to come back. Look around. Feel that sense of gratitude. And we're gonna move to the next part of this experience. All right, we are back. You've made a connection with your higher self, with your future self, with the amazing theme that you have behind you. That is um, non-physical and physical. Everybody was a huge party. Even though you may not have experienced how powerful it is or not have realized how powerful this experience was, just know that your life has already shifted, that your path, your timeline has already shifted because you showed up, because you made a connection, and that connection cannot be broken. It is there, and it is your heart connecting with the heart of your future self, with your higher self. And for that, we're celebrating. Let's raise our hands and stretch and move the energy and ground before we continue to go to the next space. So let's just say yay. This is the best way to raise your vibration, by moving your body, by being in your body and realizing that you made it, that you are home, that you've connected. Awesome. All right, so let's go into the method. You can download the PDF, or if you have it handy already, that's awesome. If not, just make sure to pause the video, get the PDF, get your journal out, and let's go. All right, so the first part, as an engineer, so I love reverse engineering things. I love knowing where I'm heading and then working my way backwards to this moment, in this point in space and reality. So, write down in the very bottom everything that you can remember from your experience reconnecting with your future self. Who they were, how did they feel, what were they talking about, what were the details they shared. Anything that comes, that's fine. If it was one thing that you felt, you write that down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're writing 3 paragraphs. Doesn't matter if you're writing a single word. It just doesn't matter. What matters is the intention. You are writing what is your destination? Where who are you becoming and where are you going? And who in the process, who are you becoming? Pause this video if you need some time and come back to me when you're ready. All right, so now that we have your destination, it's clear, it's written, it's ready to go. We have moved through your values, your GPS, or your map. I just love the idea of thinking that our values and our emotions can be our GPS in life. Just our map every single day. If it feels in alignment, if it and it's clear, you know it now. You understand. Okay, does it feel this, this, and that? okay, that's a green, that's a go. Let's full force. This is where you're going to start to elevate your confidence too, in the worth in yourself and confidence in yourself. Because, okay, does it feel this way? Then you can expect the same vibration. When you are being in that vibration more and more and more, you can expect the experiences and the people coming into your life to be in resonance and in alignment with those emotions. It's so good. All right. So, as you know, the Lightheart Method is the path that I've used in my life to understand, for my human self, to understand what my soul has in store for me. It helps me, it just lays it out for you to see, okay, this is the destination, this is the vehicle, uh, aka your sacred Christian archetype. These are the tools that I'm using in my life to guide me, to help me experience more of this values, more of this emotions, which is your GPS. Now we have two more things to go over, but we're almost there. This is so exciting. We're almost there. The first one is, what is your sacred crystalline archetype? Go and write it down. Now, if you have multiples, if you went through the PDF, you went through all what I shared with you previously, and you decided, well, Annie, I really feel connected with such and such and such. It's not the one. I can see myself. I can really perceive that this is already being activating within me. Go ahead and write it down. You don't have to choose the one. You don't have to choose. You can choose as many as you want, because at the end of the day, you're all of them. I just want you to be clear and choose your primary. Let's just, I was gonna say the one, but let's just do two. What are the main two that you feel also connected, that you're like, yes, this is me. I'm a channeler, I'm a healer. I love opening the Akashic Records, or you know what? I love changing the belief systems. I just love being so aware of everything that I'm thinking, and I can perceive that with people. Or you can say, I love connecting with Earth. I love connecting with the vibration of earth and being super grounded, or where it may be. Just write it down and put it on paper. You remember where you put your focus, where you put your attention. That's where energy goes. That's why we want to be super clear. All right. The last thing, this is so important, is inspire action. Now, this is something you're gonna do with yourself, and you're gonna be using your sacred crystalline archetype to link your emotions. And emotions, think about as something that is invisible. It's something that is constantly guiding you, but it hasn't been materialized. It is only gonna be materialized when you start to, when you get to your destination. So the first part of the method is to glue your emotions with inspire action. Now, in the past, we've been conditioned to believe that in order to have what we want to have, what we want to experience, in order for us to live a certain way, to create a certain way of relationships and this and that, we had to do it from a place of effort. We had to put work into it, and it has to be hard. And most of the time, you're gonna feel miserable, but it's gonna be worth it. And that's really such an old story. We can say goodbye to all of that. I'm not saying you're gonna go and meditate for the next 15 hours and not gonna get up until you're done. That's not what I'm saying. It's not about you not doing anything. It's about you doing it from a place of inspiration. That's why we call it inspire action. You're doing it because it feels in alignment, because it feels that that is the next step. Your soul, your higher self is showing you to take, so you can do it with confidence. You can, even if it doesn't make sense, you know and trust that that's the next step. And that only gonna it's only gonna come up when you start to use your sacred crystalline archetype as a way to glue, this is how I want to feel, what is the step I can take to relate it back. And at the beginning, it may be just that you're using your imagination, or you're thinking to yourself, what can I do in this moment that is going to help me experience more of these emotions. We're not even thinking about the destination yet. We're just getting clear on what is the next step for you. Could it be calling a certain person? Could it be making an appointment somewhere? Could it be going to the beach or resting for the next hour? We don't know, but you're trusting that once you are doing that action, the next step is going to show up, and the next step is going to show up. And that is kind of something that you can experience now already in your day-to-day life, but I'm thinking way like bigger. I'm thinking, um even I'm gonna give you a clear example. Right now, I am sharing with you all of this process through this masterclass. This was inspired action that I was guided to do. It came from the idea, okay, I want to share with everyone that is ready to experience greater joy, experience greater levels of consciousness in their lives, and to experience a sense of purpose. The Sacred Crystalline Archetypes, the program, that was my destination. That was my, that's where I was heading. And so from that space, I started to feel, okay, I would really feel that I have a sense of purpose, I'm enjoying, that I enjoy teaching this, that I feel free when I'm sharing all this material with all of you. And that was my map. So long I kept feeling those things, my inspired action started to come. And the idea was like, share a masterclass, share the process with them, help them connect with their future self. That was my inspired idea. And I didn't, all of this information came through the channeler archetype. I just one day I sat down and all this information came. And then the more steps I started taking, like create the quiz, create the masterclass, create the series, all of that, and even create the creation of the program itself, more ideas started to come. I knew where I was going, I knew how I wanted to feel, and I knew that for me that's embodying the divine, sharing with you, sharing um, from my experiences and being in this space. For me, this is embodying my purpose and it's embodying the divine. It's just a place of alignment. And so, why am I sharing this with you? Is because every day I go through this process to what can I focus on today? Where do I desire the energy to go that is gonna take me a step closer into this direction, into my overall destination? But before I even get into this everyday processes, this is like a ritual for me. um I I sat down and I look at the overall destination, all the next segment that I wanted to work on. And for me, it was this program. For you, it may be a different job. It may be, I mean, we all know it's about embodying the purpose, but the way your purpose looks right now, it may be that you still choose to be in corporate because that feels really good to you. It may be that you want to start your own business. It may be that you have been thinking about starting a project, or maybe let's move away from work. I mean, I do use work as purpose, but sometimes even purpose can be starting a family, or starting a garden. That too is purpose. That too contributes to you feeling the best you can feel, and therefore, if you're feeling the best you can feel, then you're um, emanating that with others, and that raises the consciousness of the planet. So, thinking about the bigger picture, use your sacred crystalline archetypes to help you get the bigger steps. Okay, these are like the milestones that you can take, and then break it down from there every single day. This way, it feels in flow, it feels exciting, it feels you don't feel overwhelmed. There's no more overwhelming. There's no more overwhelmed because you know that's what your heart is leading you to. That's, you know, with certainty that by you taking that inspired action because it came from source energy, because you use your sacred Christian archetype to guide you to that step, you know that's it. You know it's totally in alignment. And now there, like I said in the past, it maybe I've experienced energy blocks like everyone else. I experienced days that is like, oh my gosh, like what is this funk? And then I use the other archetypes, like the healer, to start moving the energy through my body. And all the more I use the archetypes, the clearer I get, and the clearer my life gets, and the clearer the action I desire to take gets. It's so amazing. And that's the importance like of really activating your archetypes, because these are all tools that are already within you. It's already here. You're just pulling it out. But you've already done the work in other lives, and now you get to enjoy it. All right, so now you're clear on your inspire action. You know what it is. You know you do it from your heart. You do it from a place of confidence and flow. And then we have again the sacred design archetypes. And why do I repeat it? The thing is that once you take the inspire action, things may look a little bit different, meaning you're going to start to get clearer in who are you becoming and what is your purpose. So what you may have thought was your purpose, instead of like when you connected with your future self and you said, well, it looks like this, the more you start to use the archetypes and the more you get clear on the action that you're taking and doing it from that space of inspiration, your destination is going to continue to evolve. It's not that it's going to be completely different, it's just going to be more you. It's going to be more connected to you, through the truest you. You're going to start releasing limiting beliefs. So, what may have looked like um, impossible a week ago or a month ago. Now, because you've used your archetypes to maybe code a new belief system through the coder archetype, or if you connected with the land and you start receiving information differently, new ideas may emerge. So you're like, oh, okay, so I'm using the archetypes to get focused and clear on your destination. And remember, embodying the divine and embodying your higher self, that's your purpose. But it doesn't mean that when you're having experiences that don't feel so good, that you're not embodying your higher self. We need to get really clear. We're not setting us up to a point where we say, oh, we need to feel enlightened and we need to feel the rainbows and butterflies all the time. 'Cause otherwise, I'm failing and I'm not doing it wrong and everything is wrong. No, 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 no. This is not what this is about. This is not about what embodying your purpose is. Embodying your purpose means that you're choosing to be the best you can be in every moment of your creation. It means that you've chosen to be an active and deliberate conscious creator within your creation. It means that by you being the best you can be in every moment of your creation, you are already embodying your purpose. And it also means that when you're having the crappiest day, that you're having the worst day and the worst, and let's layer it down to moments, because sometimes it's only a moment, even though we choose to think it's a whole day. It's just that moment. We can use the archetypes to bring you back into alignment, to bring you back into that goodness and wholeness. And from that integrated space, you get to share with others as well. But what I'm trying to say is that even in those moments, you are embodying your purpose. In other words, you can never get it wrong. You can never get it wrong. Even when it feels horrible, you're still embodying your higher self, because it's only your perspective that chooses to see it as something negative or as something painful. That's your human self. But when you're human, exists your higher self. It's not separated from you. It's not a place you're heading. It's always here. And this is why you use your GPS, you use your vehicle to be the destination. In other words, the destination is your journey right here. Awesome. Well, that being said, I've shown you your path. This is, and you created it. I'm just here to guide you and to remind you that everything you need is already within you. Now you have two options. You can choose to continue to explore what that purpose looks like to you, what that destination is, or you can join me in Sacred Crystalline Archetypes and discover, activate, and really embody your purpose. Like really start to feel that goodness and start to magnetize opportunities and people and experiences that are a reflection of your higher self embodied. In Sacred Christian Archetypes, you're going to go through the process of connecting even deeper with your higher self. I'll teach you the process I use every single morning. When I get into my field of potential, start connecting with future self and magnetizing in that information. It's a lot of fun, to be honest, because it's almost as if you're just it's that connection is like picking out the fun. It's like, okay, future self, what is going on? What do we need to focus on? Super easy. and bringing that attention to those things. And then through activate, you're going to go through a process of activating 12 energy centers in your body. This is your field of potential. The place is kind of a cloud. You can think of the cloud with all the information for the records of humanity exists. And that includes your records of this planet and off of this planet. So through the activation, you start to really work with the energetics and the magnetics that are already part of your field. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorite things, very powerful, and you activate your crystalline DNA, which is where all the information resides. And then we're gonna go to the process of embody. Now, I love this section because you have 12 paths to choose from. This is not your traditional program that everybody goes through the same thing. Although we're gonna be supporting each other, and but the experience is completely unique to you. It's personalized to your desires and to your soul. That's why we have the 12 paths. And through the 12 paths, you're going to choose the first one, just the one. We want to really get you clear and very aligned with your future self and higher self and the embodiment of your purpose. So you can choose to learn how to channel your angels, channel archangels, channel ascended masters, or your cosmic families if you feel ready for that. I'll give you all the tools and processes. Or if you've always dreamed about opening the Akashic Records and working and playing with the Akashic Records, which is so much fun, I'll give you that too. Or if you want to learn how to play and work with healing with energy, I'll also teach you that in 12, in total there's 12 programs. Is having like 12 programs in one. You have lifetime access for the length of the program. As long as the program is alive, you can watch and rewatch and do whatever you desire, go in whatever path you want to go. And yeah, I'll be super excited to support you through Q&A sessions and hot seats where I'll be choosing individuals to really have like a one-on-one experience, but where everybody can look in and have a peek and receive that mentoring that we all desire. Um, whatever you choose, know that you cannot make it wrong. Of course, it will be my absolutely pleasure to collaborate with you and to guide you and mentor you to this process as you rediscover what it's like for you to embody your purpose, to discover what that purpose is, and for you to create a life that is in alignment with your higher self. For more information about the sacred Christian archetypes, discover, activate, and embody your soul's purpose, you can go to AnyaLightheart.com/SCA. I hope to see you inside the program. I see you and I love you.